as your kit arrives, within the kit there are these two pieces of metal. These two pieces of metal are both the same size, only difference is one piece has two holes in it. Now this is for setting the stone in the holder. We're talking about the relationship of the surface of the stone and the relationship of the handle in relation to it. So what we do, you need a flat surface, don't really care what that flat surface is, and the item with the holes in it goes in the end, and the height that it sits up is the thickness of the piece without the holes in it. That's pretty basic. I've just used some screws there. The screws are slightly smaller diameter than the holes, so we can finally adjust that so that the height that that piece sticks up is the thickness of that piece there. That's pretty simple. Okay, getting an understanding of what we'll do next can be more difficult. So what we do now, this is a stone we were just using previously. That edge that sticks up there rests on that strap at the back of the stone holder. The other strap, which of course is the same thickness that sticks up by, that sits on that strap of the stone holder at the other end. So that sits there, and you maneuver this strip of metal so that strip of metal is supporting that strap. So the stone, there could be an air gap underneath the stone, I don't know, but we will look at that in a moment. Now what we're trying to do now is we are going to look at how parallel that handle is to that flat surface there. That's all the same flat surface through there. So what I will do, we've got a shim in here now. You can see it's a little strip of plastic there. Your kit will come with two spanners. I don't give you the luxury of two tube spanners in the kit. That would be just too extravagant on my part. Right, I'm going to slacken that off. And we're looking now, we look along here, we can see that handle is sloping downwards. That handle is sloping downwards because I have slackened off that. So that's now loose. We set them up as they leave and we get them as accurate as we can. But the other factor that comes into it is, if anything, the handle instead of being dead parallel in that gap, if you've got the finishing side of your stone or the last side that you use on the stone, if the handle slopes downwards fractionally, so that means that when you're on the final side of each stone, you know that you're on the outside, you're removing metal from the outside edge. Now, we're dealing with such small tolerances it becomes difficult to film and difficult to show. Okay. We're sloping down there badly at the moment. You look in there, and we'll just progressively tighten this. These threads are only 4mm, so we do not need gorillas tightening these threads. Now, there's a paper shim there, and the thickness of that shim determines the angle. You can create a selection of different shim thicknesses, but as that is there now, that is the finishing side down there. That's the darker side of the Arkansas stone, and if it's the Norton stone you had in the frame, you would have the orange side downwards, and you would have the handle as parallel as you could get it, or alternatively the handle sloping down slightly. There's all sorts of things you can do. You could just use something as a gauge. It might slide in there. Yeah, that's actually perfect. That does slide in there. it moves along there, and at that point there it starts to, it's down slightly. By doing that, you can actually get another degree of sharpness and another degree of accuracy in the way you're removing metal, and the more accurate you get that, the better the finished edge is going to be.